What's up, everyone? It's Scotty with Money Investing. Welcome on board. If you guys can see me and hear me, just give me a thumbs up. Right when I started the live stream, the power just went out, so hopefully we can get it back very, very quickly. But just give me a thumbs up if you can hear me and see me. We've got a lot to talk about this week. There's a lot of earnings, so I will be breaking that down. Some analyst upgrades, downgrades as well. Break down some of the individual companies. Of course, we've got Pinterest coming down over 12% last time I checked, and Tesla, getting up to as $950 a share, almost getting up to $1 trillion in market cap. So absolutely incredible. There we go. We've got the power back. So, all right, we're back in business. Let's just quickly go over the earnings. And as you guys already know, Facebook is the big company, big tech, FANG stock reporting after the markets close today. That obviously is going to be on everybody's watch list. We are going to be interested in that company to really understand what those privacy changes are, and how they report the future guidance and what their future numbers they expect in the Q4 moving forward as well. The daily active users, the monthly active users, the average revenue per user based on different geographies, and all those things are going to be super interesting. This right here is going to be the expectation. So again, they are expected to report about $30 billion in revenue. That's the expectation, about a 40% growth year over year. And they're looking at an EPS, earnings per share, of about $3.19. That's also going to be a growth of 17% year over year. So that's the first company that we are going to be watching at the very top, and that is Facebook, and then followed by AMD, Microsoft, Google later this week. So PayPal says it's not looking to buy Pinterest right now. Shares jumped 6%, but Pinterest took a bit of a beating here pre-market. So this is the press release that they announced over the weekend on Sunday. Basically said that in response to the market rumors regarding a potential acquisition of Pinterest by PayPal, PayPal stated that it is not pursuing any acquisition of Pinterest at this time. So in our Discord and in our live stream as well, I mentioned that Pinterest, with or without this potential acquisition, remains a very strong company. The fundamentals are very good. And I also mentioned that if for any reason this deal does not go through, Pinterest could come back down. And we are literally back down to that same level that we were last week before that spike. I'll go over that in more detail. I'll go over the charts in more detail as well. But Facebook shares under pressure following a release of leaked whistleblower documents. So this also came out over the weekend. So this was actually very interesting. The documents were provided to the news outlets by Frances Haugen, a former Facebook employee who took tens of thousands of pages of internal research with her before she left. And she's since provided those documents to Congress and the SEC, seeking the whistleblower status. And at the heart of these stories is a premise which is false, a Facebook spokesperson said in a statement in response to the flood of reporting. And yes, we're a business, we make profit, but the idea that we do that at the expense of people's safety or well-being misunderstands where our own commercial interests lie. The truth is that we've invested $13 billion and over 40,000 people to do one job, and that is to keep Facebook a safe place, or keep people safe on Facebook in general. So overall, in my opinion, that was kind of like clearing some of the issues here, kind of surfacing Facebook. And of course, it's been a lot under pressures. Yeah, pray for Tesla bears. Definitely, Kent. I do agree. Definitely pray for them. 3 months ago, I actually posted this on my Instagram as well. 4 months ago, there was a lot of bearish sentiment around Tesla. A couple of people said Tesla would go bankrupt. It would come down to like $200, $150 a share, surrounding the Michael Burry short. And here we are, almost at $950. So again, congratulations to all the Tesla bulls here. So Pinterest shares tumbled over 13% pre-market trading after PayPal said it was not pursuing an acquisition of the social media company at this time. Its statement came in response to reports that it was pursuing an acquisition of Pinterest for as much as $45 billion. And PayPal shares were higher today. Pinterest was down. So kind of like a completely opposite reaction to what we saw last week. Tesla raised its prices on certain versions of its Model X and Model S cars, according to the company's website. And additionally, the car rental giant Hertz has reportedly ordered 100,000 Tesla vehicles for its fleet. That's a big order. That's a really big order. I mean, Tesla does, 250,000 vehicles per quarter. And for Hertz to actually buy $100,000, like at least give that as an order for the company is pretty big, right? That's a lot of revenue for Tesla, and shares rallied over 4.3, almost 5%, hitting highs of $950. So, all right, let's see. Is everyone else still experiencing this break? Streaming stopped? Is the streaming stopped, or am I still going? Let me know in the live chat if this is still going. It should be still going. Hopefully it's not stopped, but let me know in the live chat, or if it's only for one person or is it for everyone. A refresh fixed it. Okay, still going. Perfect. So Facebook continues to be embroidered with controversy, with Wall Street Journal's story this morning, detailing internal arguments over the handling of right-leaning content. The stock fell 5% Friday, breaking a 4-session win streak. Its shares are up another 1.5% pre-market. I'll go over that in just a minute. The charts. Pfizer and BioNTech, the vaccine made by Pfizer and BioNTech showed 90% effectiveness in children aged between 5 and 11. And health officials said that a rollout for the vaccine for kids could come as soon as early November. So, of course, this has been very, very highly anticipated before the end of the year for kids. And, that could be a big catalyst for both of these companies to essentially break out to new all-time highs. So this right here are going to be some upgrades and downgrades from Wall Street. So we go over that. And Bank of America was actually very active today. I'll go over that in just a minute. But Morgan Stanley raised its price target on Tesla to 1,200 from 900. The next 12 months can demonstrate Tesla's manufacturing leadership, a step change in cost, complexity, and higher growth in the vehicle user base. Our $1,200 price target implies roughly half the company's growth target, a constrained China, and virtually no autonomy right now. So they're not sort of like very contained China exposure and virtually no autonomy. So they could raise their price target even further. But I think a lot of analysts on Wall Street have raised their targets to north of $1,000 for the company right now. JP Morgan reiterates Disney as overweight. So that's that. Disney, of course, does trade a little bit of an overvalued level here, just given where the valuations are. We covered that in our subscriber special video over the weekend. But yes, the overweight rating here. And yes, Arnold, we did go over Tesla's order that they received from Hertz over 100,000 vehicles. All right, let's see. I don't know what happened here. So, all right, there we go. So next one, Wells Fargo raised its price target on Bank of America to $60 from $55, and Wells raised its price target on Bank of America, and they basically said that they do see the net interest income increasing, which has turned the corner in our view. And second, its scale tech-driven model has increased the moat around the business and should allow for continued share gains. It's kind of weird, one bank kind of raising a price target on another bank, but they're raising Bank of America target to $66. So this right here is Evercore reiterating Microsoft as an outperform. So Microsoft, of course, has had tremendous upside here, just continues to rally higher. Year to date, it's a lot higher, north of 45-50%, similar to Google's. Google's also really high, but also Microsoft trades at a pretty rich valuation, but that is warranted just given how the business has matured over time. And earnings are also coming up later this week, along with Apple, Amazon, of course, other big tech companies. Bank of America also reiterating Alphabet as a buy, and they're giving a reasonable 18 times 2022 earnings, core earnings PE in our sum of the parts. Expected relatively stability for search versus social due to added Q4 search activity, and they also reiterate Twitter as a buy as well. And last but not least, we've got Bank of America also reiterating Amazon as a buy. So got a lot of big tech reiterations and upgrades on the companies for Amazon, Google, we got Twitter, and then we also got Microsoft as well. And then we got Micron, unfortunately, Bernstein rating it as an underperform for the company. Though we have structurally positive, we see cyclical downside risk coming on, and the financial performance, Samsung and Micron will not recover until late 2022. So that kind of wraps up. There we go. Look at the NASDAQ here, up over 38 basis points right now pre-market. We got the SPY pushing up over 25 basis points, and the Dow Jones up another 11 basis points at the moment. We're hitting all-time highs for the S&P and the NASDAQ. Well, the S&P and the Dow Jones. The NASDAQ is still shy of all-time high here, just under 2% from all-time highs. And right now, given where we are, up over 38, 40 basis points, I would not be surprised for us to see a retest of 15,400. But of course, the earnings are going to be the big catalyst for this week and what those numbers are. All right, let's see. So DWC will break $800 this week. $800. Where is it right now? $112. Yeah, I mean, this stock is just really volatile. All I would say is just be careful if you are trading or investing in this company. So market doesn't seem to care about Bank of America opinion. No change in Amazon, Google prices. Yeah, I mean, they're just reiterating, right? So it's not new information. They didn't raise the price targets. It was just like them coming out and saying, okay, so we're just reiterating our analysis. There's nothing new that the market would price in for these companies. So I feel like that's quite normal. Like JP Morgan, they raised their price targets, and of course with Hertz order, Tesla here is at $950 now, up over 4.5%. And of course that next milestone, that incredible number that everybody want to see, is going to be $1,000 a share for Tesla. I mean, just think about it. Right now, Tesla is sitting at almost $940 billion market cap once you account for the after pre-market move. And this right here was a split, right? Split happened back in August of 2020. So almost exactly over a year ago, we did a 5-for-1 split. So you multiply this price by 5 and you get to almost $5,000 for Tesla. That is incredible. That is absolutely outstanding move from Tesla. Of course on a pre-split basis. Post-split we're trading at just over 950, but man, what a move from Tesla. And of course the momentum's changed. It's just been very polarizing stock. As I mentioned before, there's been two sides to the story. Either you're too bullish or you're too bearish on the company. And of course we've got, significant as a Tesla bull community that's received a lot of criticism from a lot of bears and short sellers over the months, over the years in Tesla. But it's just continued to prove everybody wrong, right? It's just continued to push higher to new all-time highs, and here we are almost at 950. The RSI is very, very overbought, so I'm not going to take away from the fact that it is on a technical basis. It is a little bit on the overbought side, so RSI well over 83, 84 levels. So certainly, very overbought here. The risk-reward ratio kind of diminishes as the price continues to move higher. It's a much better deal at lower prices. Without a doubt, your margin for profit is much higher if you're getting in under $900, under $800, under $700. But right now, it's a time for everybody who's already in to either dollar cost average up or just hold and observe the price action and wait for that $1,000, $1,050, $1,200 price targets in the future. But just if you're someone who's starting a new position here at 950 on Tesla, then I would think twice. I would take a little bit of a step back, and in my opinion, there may be better opportunities kind of dollar cost average in the future as well, just given where we are with the relative strength index and the MACD. But a strong move here pre-market for the company. So Google we already went over. So let's take a quick look. Google not really doing much here, just down about 9 basis points. I'm watching 2660 next all the way as low as 2550 for the company moving forward. So I remain bullish on Google. I think my price target is going to be north of $6,000, and this is of course out in 2026. I've done a complete dedicated analysis on the company on both Facebook and Google. I think Google is over $6,000, Facebook is over $700, so I would highly encourage you guys to check out that video as well. Yes, Oscar Draftkings, we're going to keep a close eye on that stock, watching 44.50. So this right here is going to be that level to watch. Right now we're seeing a little bit of a bounce back higher, 60 basis points here, but Friday was a strong breakdown. 44.50 is going to be that level to watch very, very closely. The sooner we get down to that level, in my opinion, the better that swing trade opportunity is going to be. And right now the price itself needs to kind of stabilize because it's just been selling off quite aggressively. And I think it's a very similar pattern to what we saw for PayPal once they were in talks of acquiring Pinterest. Stock prices dropped and then PayPal quickly recovered, and it's now up over 6%, back over $253. So we'll go ahead and turn this level back into a support for the company. And both for Pinterest, PayPal, this was a bit of an overreaction from the markets. For both PayPal as well, you guys know that my price target is 310 before the end of the year. And just given the sheer momentum to the downside here, that target was getting less and less likely, but this is also a bit of an overreaction. Just based on this acquisition for a company that's worth over $300 billion that can easily do and make this acquisition happen. Yes, the integration part was a bit of a question mark. How is PayPal going to integrate Pinterest into their ecosystem? That was a big question mark. But in general, the fundamentals are intact. The financials are incredible for the company. Yes, it trades at a little bit of a rich valuation, similar to Microsoft, similar to other companies, but in my opinion, it's all about risk and reward, right? If you are willing to accept that much premium for the company, PayPal, in my opinion, is a long-term hold. So 253 is going to be that next near-term support. And with Pinterest, in my opinion, with or without the acquisition, I remain bullish on the company, and I do believe there's a lot of potential for upside here. All right, let's see. So could you check Walgreens? Yes, I can check the Walgreens stock. So let's see, right now just about 29 basis points, not really doing anything, just moving sideways. This company also remains very, very undervalued in my opinion, just given where we are with the forward earnings, forward sales, everything that the company is going through, like the whole pharmacies and digital sort of revolution with the new CEO as well. So I remain bullish on Walgreens as well. And this is easily like a $75, $80 plus stock for me with a nice dividend yield of close to 4%. So I'm going to continue to kind of buy more and more shares of the company as well. Let's take a look at advanced micro devices. So I will look into Intel in 2 to 3 years time. So Intel is quite of an interesting story, right? They've got a pretty big capex at $23 billion. They're going to be spending a lot of money to kind of build out their entire foundry and manufacturing plant. The big bet that they're really making is that the semiconductor industry is going to grow at a very solid clip, right? They're going to be growing at, I believe, double digits in the future. And that's the bet that Intel is making right now. And the real goal is for them to turn a lot of the designers of chips and semiconductor companies from TSMC to Intel foundry and manufacturing once that is up and running, right? So that's the real question. And, you know, I am confident in Intel's ability to do that, but only earnings and the actual fundamentals will tell us the real story, right? It's all about the new CEO and the vision and how well the team can execute on their plans. Still remains an undervalued stock with a decent yield, but it's undervalued for a reason, right? It's trading at a cheap price because of how much they're spending on capex. Free cash flow is not growing, revenue is not growing, so and market share, they're losing that to AMD and Intel. So it's a bit of a tough story, but remains undervalued. And for everyone who is interested in Intel and kind of believes in that growth story, eventually, you know, that's a good stock to consider and do some more research on, just given the decent yield and undervalued levels. All right, let's take a look at advanced micro devices. And AMD is just over 60 basis points back up to 120. They are reporting earnings later this week, so 122 is going to be that next resistance level to watch. NVIDIA also hitting a new all-time high, almost at $230. So this right here is going to be that next resistance level to keep in mind for NVIDIA moving forward. Let's just quickly break down our 4 charts here. So that's going to be all the way down here. And we're going to switch over to the actual indices. So SPX, and we got the Dow Jones right there. So we got the NASDAQ here, we got the S&P 500 over here, and we got the Dow Jones right over there. Let's just quickly break down Southwest as well. So, all right, we'll keep Facebook here. Amazon, actually, let's just keep Tesla on top right. Amazon, and then we'll keep Apple over on this side. So Apple up over 4 basis points, nothing crazy. Tesla continues to stay right above 950 here, up over 4.5%. Amazon is kind of flat, and Facebook is down about 1.3%. So off we go. Off we go. Can Tesla hit $1,000 today? Man, that would be incredible. By the way, my order got filled on one of the stock that I just purchased today, a new position on one of the companies that I spent the entire weekend kind of researching and learning more about. This was actually mentioned by one of our subscribers, so shout out to them for bringing that up. And I really like the company. I will be doing a dedicated analysis and a video on that stock very, very soon. There is some risk, but I am really excited about this with this company. All right, so let's see. So Facebook getting bought up a little bit. Apple also up over 30 basis points, and we got Amazon up over 16 basis points. Tesla pretty much flat right now, just under $950. And let's just quickly go over our entire watch list. The yields were higher the last time I checked. So 10-year yields are up over 0.5% here, up to 1.64. And the volatility, we haven't taken a look at that. So VIX is also up over 2% here, just over 15.7. So we're still kind of consolidating sideways at those levels right now. And of course, Bitcoin is up as high as $63,000. So 63,000 is where we are. 67,000 is going to be that resistance level, and 58,000, 59,000 is going to be that support level to keep in mind for Bitcoin right now in the near term. So, all right, let's take a look at Southwest LUV. How badly is that stock doing? So 47.20 is that support, 47.30, 47.20 right here. And right now we are just testing that support level. The earnings were good for the company, so I'm actually pleased with the earnings announcement the company had. This remains kind of like a recovery play for me right now. I think I'm down like 3% or 4% on this company right now, and I will continue to kind of dollar cost average at 47.20 support all the way as low as 43 bucks. So those right there are going to be two support levels to keep in mind for the company at the moment. So let's take a look at Pinterest and see how that stock is doing. By the way, we just had an alert go off. Just want to take a look at that. So this is all right. This was the 702 Upwork. So Upwork, there we go. We're getting a breakout on Upwork, up over 4% here, $61. So it was consolidating sideways for a really long time. Upwork was, and we're getting a nice breakout. Next resistance and target is going to be actually at $64 a share. So that right there is going to be that level to watch for the company moving forward. So nice breakout. How is Fiverr doing? Fiverr is up just about 1.2%, so just under 190, $180 is going to be that next support level. And Upwork also reports earnings later this week, right? So let me see if I can bring that up here. So Upwork is right here on Wednesday after the markets close. So that's going to be Upwork for you guys. All right, let's take a look at Pinterest, see how that stock is doing, down about 14%, just over $49. The volume is decent, almost at 7.2 million shares. But this right here, $48, $49 is once again going to be that support level. To keep in mind, we are literally just back down to that same level that we were just last week, couple of weeks ago, from October 13 and 14. I mean, this is pretty much as if the PayPal catalyst like never happened, right? If you just remove that rumor, and we are just, it's a normal day for Pinterest, right? We're back down to that level. I think the earnings are going to be the next big catalyst for the company. Let's take a look at Autodesk. So Autodesk has been on a nice, decent push higher from lows of 271. It's up over 14%. So $304 is going to be that support level to keep in mind for the company right now. So that's going to be that near-term support. Resistance is going to be the all-time high, sitting roughly at 334. And that is going to be that next target to also watch for the company. They are reporting earnings in December. So December is going to be the time when Autodesk reports earnings. Big software as a service company. So I am bullish on the company right now. Let's take a look at, honestly, the system move pinch me. Let's take a quick look. 960. Wow. Take a look at that. $960. We're like 40 bucks away from all-time highs for Tesla. From like $1,000 price target from Tesla, right? All-time highs were already trading at those levels. What's the market cap? $943 billion. That is incredible. $943 billion, guys. Almost at $950. And imagine if you get up to $1,000. I mean, Tesla is gonna achieve that $1 trillion market cap level. And I think Elon Musk owns like 20% of Tesla. I could be mistaken, but I'm pretty sure Elon Musk owns like 20% of the company. So 20% of $1 trillion is $200 billion in net worth just off of Tesla stock. Would be insane, absolutely insane, absolutely crazy. I feel like we should just keep it on Tesla today. I feel like this is just an astronomical like move to the upside, just a milestone moment. We just crossed 950 billion market cap. Well, we just did. It's now at 951 billion in market cap since the price is at 963. Look at that. Look at that move. Yeah, he owns 50% of SpaceX. Yeah, I mean, I read an article that he's probably on track to becoming the first trillionaire. Just imagine. Imagine being the first trillionaire in the world. That is incredible. Insane. We're almost at 969. I want to get a screenshot at 969. If Tesla can get up to that level, that would be incredible. Oh man, I missed it. Just amazing. So 970 is the high, all-time high. All-time high for Tesla. Like we are now closer to 1,000 than we are closer to 900. There goes the power. Yes, the power went out. But anyway, all right, let's take a quick gander here and see what's moving. So Pinterest, of course, down 14%, getting a lot of pain here, just over $50. Then we got Baidu coming down close to 2%. We got Robinhood down to 1.85. Robinhood also breaking down below $39, $40 a share. So this has been kind of like a big rally to new all-time highs at over $84 a share. And then we saw a significant drawdown here of 55%. And right now just breaking below $39 per share. So Twitter also down. Twitter reports earnings later this week. We got Procter & Gamble, Facebook kind of recovering a little bit, 319, 320. So the low for the day exactly at 320. Exactly at 320. So we're just sitting above that 200 simple moving average on the weekly chart. We're probably right above that 50 EMA. So that's the yellow line where we're trading at for Facebook right now, just above that 50 exponential moving average on the weekly chart, and on the daily chart, we are right at that 200 SMA for the company. So is O at all-time highs also? Oh my God, are you kidding me? God, this is so frustrating. Oh my God. I literally wanted to, I just wanted this stock to stay down. God. This has had such a nice rally. Such a nice rally. Like, we started a position on this. I need O to go down to 65, please. I know, like, me too. Like, we started a position in this, in the 60s, and we were kind of like, I was in the process of building that position, and of course, it just continues to rally before I can get all my shares in. But Mara up to $52 here, so seeing a little bit of a push to the upside. $57, $58 is going to be that next resistance level to keep in mind. So that right there is going to be that next level. Bitcoin, of course, is higher, up over 3.6%. So of course, we're seeing Mara also push higher. So that's the correlation between the two. Micron up over 5%, despite Bernstein putting an underperform rating on the stock. So this right here is the lower highs and lower lows, right? So we've just been consistently kind of like in this downtrending channel. There's been a lot of weakness for the company. And right now, $69, we're kind of regaining that resistance back up. So I'll go ahead and turn this level into a support. And resistance now is going to stay pretty close to $74 a share. So that right there is going to be that level to watch. Dixon, hope markets cheer you up after last night's 05. My God. I was so disappointed. So disappointed. I just don't want to talk about that. But $74 is going to be that next resistance level, right? So lower highs kind of inside this downtrending channel. Once we get that breakout over this level, once we start forming some higher highs and higher lows, in my opinion, then that could be a sign of a trend reversal for Micron, right? So we could see a potential trend reversal and possibly back up to $85, $86 a share. But just the fundamentals need to improve a little bit better for the company. So the markets, NASDAQ coming down, turning red here. If you go over to the 5-minute chart, so coming back down, and so is the S&P 500. A little bit of selling pressure here, and the Dow Jones also down about 7 basis points. So far, pretty much flat on the day, although we did open green, especially the NASDAQ. NASDAQ has retraced down about 0.5%, more than 0.5%. So Ben, United were terrible. Yes, thank you for pointing out the obvious and kicking me when I'm down. But yeah, it was a very just a very disappointing game to watch overall. Very slow, no decision making, nothing. All right, so pretty much a lot of companies are in the red right now. The ones that are in the green are Crocs. Somehow this company just keeps pushing higher. They actually reported some decent earnings last week. And right now up another 5.5%. The resistance and the all-time high is going to stay put at close to this 162 level. So that right there is going to be that resistance. Micron's up, Mara's up. PayPal obviously back up to 250. Although look at that selling pressure intraday. We were as high as 255. So probably we're coming down to fill that gap. So before the open, this gap was this big. Now it's down to this big. So we still have a little bit of gap after this gap up that we saw today. Let's take a look at Visa. Coinbase is also on the move, 310. So Visa on a nice move back up here. So 237, 238, that right there is going to be that next target, that next resistance level to watch for the company, but a nice move back up from 230s. Visa is another stock that we started buying a couple of weeks ago. So 237 is going to be that near-term resistance, near-term target, and of course all the way up to all-time highs at 252. A lot of companies that are reporting, the holiday season is very important for them, right? Because they depend on the actual holiday season, like the spending from the actual people. So Visa benefits from the credit card, debit cards, of course. Amazon benefits from that as well. Shopify benefits from the holiday seasons, October, November, December, January. So like Thanksgiving, Christmas time, New Year's, all the deals and different discounts. Apple, of course, with the iPhone 13 launch is going to be very important. Spotify, I believe they do also offer some discounts during that time. A lot of companies will benefit. And of course, Facebook with the advertising revenue, because a lot of companies need to advertise, get in front of their customers during that time. So future guidance is going to be very important for Facebook moving forward. Mo Salah for my fantasy would like Tesla as my portfolio. That's so true. But the hat trick, man, he's actually a really good player. He had a really good game overall. All right, let's take a look at Coinbase. So Coinbase up to 310. So 310. Next resistance is going to be 345 for the company. And this is very correlated with Bitcoin, even though I personally prefer Coinbase to kind of trade on its own fundamentals. The company remains, fairly valued in the markets right now. But 320 is going to be that near-term support. Resistance is going to be 345 right now. So very, very in line with how Bitcoin's been moving. So if you were to kind of do some very simple correlation, let's just do like a split 3 charts. And you'll notice, let's just put Mara here. And you'll notice almost an identical pattern, right? And let's just put BTC, USD here. So crypto, we'll just put right there. So right here, you'll just notice a very, very identical pattern for these 3. Like you can see that, right? It's just almost identical for these. Like Coinbase comes down and then rallies back up. Mara comes down, then rallies back up. Bitcoin comes down and then rallies back up. So there's like complete correlation between these 3 assets, right? So Mara and Coinbase are actually following Bitcoin's price action. Even though Coinbase ideally would want it to kind of trade on its own fundamentals. Mara, I do understand because they're in the business of mining Bitcoin. So I do understand why they're trading almost identical to Bitcoin's price action. But Coinbase, that's just the market that we're in. Even though I would prefer to Coinbase for it to trade on its own fundamentals. All right, let's see. So Facebook earnings, that's a great question. It's difficult because Facebook has a history of kind of lowballing on some of those numbers for the revenue and EPS. Like I said, they've got the numbers estimate is going to be 30 billion. I see Facebook kind of easily beating that expectation and growing north of 40% year over year, and EPS to come in at $3.19. That's also going to be growth of 17% or more year over year. So these numbers are good. I don't expect Facebook to see a significant drop, although the company has been very, very loud about the privacy policy changes from Apple, and how much that is going to affect their business is only time will tell, right? After the markets close, we'll find out. But the existing revenue EPS, I don't see a big problem with that. The future guidance is where the question begins. Like, what is going to be their future guidance for the company? Because like I said, with these privacy policy changes, Snapchat already lowered their guidance. So Facebook, are they going to be generating more advertising revenue or not? And of course, with this pressure, with the whistleblower event, with the documents being leaked, there's just so much things that need to be addressed during the earnings call for Facebook. So 319, 320, I do expect that to be support, just considering how much we're down. If you were to remove this binary event, this earnings event, Facebook is a buy in my strong opinion, just given where the valuations are. But just based on that momentum, right? We're trading below the 50 exponential moving average. We're just hanging on by a thread, literally at that 200 SMA. The low for the day, $319.72. That 200 SMA, $319.86. So we're just hanging on by a few cents here, I wouldn't be surprised to actually see a gap down, potentially down to 300, on that 300 SMA for Facebook. That's why, like, for me, it's like the earnings are kind of like hit or miss, right? Anything can happen, and Wall Street can really take a look at few things and result in the stock price either going really high or really low very, very quickly, and just kind of disregarding the bigger picture for the company as well. So if it does come down to 300, under 300 bucks, if I like everything I see in the earnings call, it would be a buy for me, unless of course something severe happens and they drastically reduce their future guidance, or change the way they do business. We saw a drop in daily active users, monthly active users, user engagement. If the fundamentals severely change, then of course I'll have to rethink the position as well. All right, so Pinterest, let's see. So Pinterest, we've already covered several times. We are still down about 13-14%, just hovering over $50 a share. I'm waiting on the earnings call here, so that's going to be during the first week of November. I will be covering that, and $40.50 remains that support level to watch for Pinterest right now. There's not going to be any changes from last week that we're looking at. So, all right, let's see. So let's take a look at BE. So Bloom Energy Corporation up another 28% here. So this right here was kind of like a lower highs and lower lows that we were forming. Resistance next target is going to be at $28 a share. So triple top resistance, once, twice, three times. We've gone rejected at levels so many times for the company. So high for the day, 27.29. So that right there is going to be that next resistance level to watch for this stock. But a strong breakout on heavy volume for the company today. And support level is going to stay put at close to 23.60. So that right there is going to be that level to watch. Just got an alert that ticker symbol O is hitting a new 52-week high at $72.99. It's $73 a share. Let's take a look at Tesla. It's up to 951. So on the daily chart, it looks like we are forming some type of a horizontal support at close to 950s. And there's also a lower high being formed right now for Tesla as well. So on the daily, on the 1 minute chart, 5 minute chart, you'll notice that we are forming some type of a descending triangle here for the company. So we are coming down from those lower highs. All right, let's take a look at Snapchat. So Snapchat is down about 1.5% here. So definitely breaking down below 300 simple moving average, right? So 40-30 is going to be that next support level to watch. Although Snapchat does, again, like I said in my weekend video, that it trades at a pretty expensive level. So the valuation remains high for the company. So that 300 SMA is an important level to watch. If you do end up closing below that level, then 40-30, in my opinion, is next, because we've perfectly validated that support once, twice, three times, four times, several times in the past for the company. So let's take a look at TCNF. We have not talked about this company on this live stream right now. So down another 2% here. So next support level I'm watching is going to be 23.75. So this right here is going to be that level to watch for the company. And right now you'll notice that it's kind of forming some type of a bear flag. So this right here is kind of like a bear flag that could be seen, with the prior trend to the downside. So this right here was a downside, selling off here and then just consolidating sideways. And I would not be surprised to see a retest of that 23.75 level as kind of like the next support level to watch for the company. All right, so let's see. So Crocs, Micron, Mara, PayPal, Tesla, we all know why those stocks are up. Pinterest up another 3% here, back over $350. So NEO, we haven't talked about NEO, and nobody's brought that up, surprisingly. So NEO, $38 is going to be that support level. We're up just about 2.5%. 41 bucks is going to be that next resistance that NEO needs to break out of. So this is going to be a lot of consolidation right now in that range. Could be seen as some type of a bull flag. So you'll notice a prior trend up. Right now we're just consolidating sideways, and then that next resistance and target is going to be that close to $41, $42 per share for the company. So AMD getting rejected. Yeah, so 122, 121, that is going to be that next resistance level. And right now we're just getting a bit of rejection here. Like I said, the RSI is a little bit on the overbought side, and so is the MACD. So just be careful, just given where we are, right? So this is going to be seen as overbought for AMD. Nice rally, RSI overbought, MACD overbought. So wouldn't be surprised to see some type of a pullback. Wow, Facebook green back up to 325. A lot of buyers stepping in right at that 200 simple moving average. So that's very, very strong. Strong momentum for Facebook here. Yes, so Facebook up, Facebook up, Facebook up. Yes. Let's take a look at Draftkings. Draftkings also, well, came down to 45.36. 44.50 is going to be that next support level that I'm watching. But a nice breakdown from this bear flag for Draftkings. So 44.50, in my opinion, that's going to be a much better sort of like low risk, high reward swing trade opportunity for the company. The RSI remains low. Even on the weekly chart, you know, we're coming down, the MACD is coming down. So 44.50, in my opinion, nice support level to keep in mind for a potential swing trade. Just hold my 60% Tesla with 50% gain. X Lone Wolf says, congratulations on those gains. That's awesome. That's incredible. Let's take a look at SoFi. So SoFi is down 1.3%. So $21 is the resistance that we talked about in our previous live stream. So this right here is the level. If you kind of pull back on the chart, you'll notice exactly why that's a resistance. So, you know, kind of like these lower highs being formed for the company. So that's the red line you guys see on the chart. And right now we're just getting rejected at that resistance, and support level is going to stay put at close to $19, $19.25 to watch for SoFi in the meantime. So Upstart, I just went over, up another 1.5%, 2.5%, 3% almost, 352 here. So this has been the pattern. In my opinion, the reason why we're seeing a divergence here is because of the 21 EMA. So if I were to copy and paste this EMA and click on this, just change that input to 21. In my opinion, that's the moving average that is following. So right there. So that's the 21 exponential moving average that we're kind of bouncing off of. And that's a faster moving average relative to the 50 EMA. So 50 EMA, you'll notice there is some divergence and some gaps, but that's because it's following the 21 EMA. And historically, I feel like it's also been following the 9 EMA. So if I kind of bring it down even further, shorter time frames, you'll notice that it has in the past also tracked very well to the 9 exponential moving average. So we were just like moving nicely. We did break down, validate that 21, push higher, and then once again we're just hovering around that 21 EMA. So it's been a nice uptrend above those moving averages. Hasn't really retraced down to that 50 EMA. You know, the most we've come down is 18% here, 16% here, and now we're back up. Remains overvalued. I mean, this is a stock that I'm not really buying, not touching. You know, my sort of comfort zone was at around the 110s, 120s, but now it's just too high, too rich of a valuation for me to take a stab here. Let's take a look at Palantir. Palantir here. All right, let me just remove all these moving averages. All right, and then we'll just, all right, wait. So 21, all right, there we go. So right now we're just struggling at that $25 level, right? So that resistance is going to be very important for Palantir. We're just struggling to break out over that level, up another 1.8% today. So that's strong, that's good. But this is a very strong resistance. For the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days, actually 6 days, we've just struggled to break out over $25. So that is a strong resistance level to watch. All the way as 25.75 for the company. So a little bit of an ascending triangle. And of course, the earnings are not till the last week of November for Palantir. They do report a little bit late than usual big tech companies. But RSI looks good, the MACD looks good, and just overall, you know, we're starting to make some progress back up for Palantir. So let's take a look at Desktop Metal, DM. So strong downtrend here, down to $7. There's no revenue or earnings that we can analyze, so there's no fundamentals either. There's only a balance sheet of Q2 that has very low debt with plenty of cash. Let's take a look at some of the statistics on an annual basis. So, you know, it makes sense why the company is strapped with cash is because look at the share count, right? It's gone from 32 million to 151 million. It's 5 times dilution in 1 year, up to 224 million. So 150 to 224 is almost a 50% increase in share dilution as well. So first was 5x, then 50%. So a lot of dilution. And unfortunately, when you are diluting the shareholders, you are really taking away from the interest, right? It's a big turnoff for equity shareholders if the company continues to kind of dilute shareholders. And, you know, even if the company does really well, even if the stock price goes up, dilution can really restrain you from generating profits because it's kind of like putting a null event on those, right? Stock price going up, but you're diluting at the same time, and as a result, you don't have any effect on the company's revenue, like the company's actual gain on the price. So resistance right now, near term, $8.61. Actually, you know, that 50 EMA is going to be that level to watch. Right now, we're just in this consistent downtrend, making lower highs, lower lows. Although there is some bullish divergence, so I'll definitely give it that. So you'll notice the higher lows forming here, and the price itself is making some lower lows over there. So there is some bullish divergence that could lead to a potential breakout beyond this 50 exponential moving average, and then we'll be watching this resistance at roughly $9 for DM at the moment. All right, let's take a look at TTCF, Tattooed Chef. So breaking down under $17.50. So this right here was our previous support level. Also, if you kind of pull back, it was kind of like the higher lows for the stock, right? So this right here were the higher lows for the company. So right now we are starting to break down here. Next support level to watch is going to be sitting roughly at $15.50. So this right here is going to be that next level to watch for the stock. Let's take a look at Take-Two Interactive. By the way, there's an alert that went off. Let's see. Palantir at $24.96. So Palantir crossing a little bit above that moving average. So that's good. That's what we want to keep track of. $25. That's the price that we're hitting right now. Let's keep it close at $25.01. Take-Two Interactive is up another 45 basis points. So next target and resistance stays put at 188 for the company. That is going to be that next level to watch for Take-Two Interactive. For Southwest Bend, I'm going to be watching 47.20. In fact, 47.21. That was a support to the T right there for Southwest. So we perfectly came down to that level. Now we're starting to form a doji candle. The RSI is coming down to an oversold level. The MACD is coming down to an oversold level. So, you know, I will personally consider kind of dollar cost average on this company. I remain bullish with the long-term outlook as a recovery play for Southwest as well. They did go through some problems in the short term with the cancellations. I was not expecting that. That was a big thing that resulted in, of course, the stock price coming down. And then last week we got another downgrade on Southwest. So if you come over to the headlines, right, Evercore downgraded Southwest Airlines for, I feel like, absolutely no reason. So Argus, Goldman Sachs, and Morgan Stanley also lowered. Actually, another alert, I got to buy a VOG today. So today is Monday. Let's see how that stock is doing, or ETF is doing. It's up 18 basis points. So just consolidating sideways. And again, this is a market experiment that I'm doing right now, and I will be buying more of VOG later today. So, all right, that kind of wraps up the market update and market open live stream here. So thank you so much for being here. I really do appreciate your guys' support. And the markets are pretty much, for the most part, kind of back and forth. The Nasdaq is still up over 24 basis points. We got the S&P up over 12. We got the Dow Jones also higher, and Tesla pushing up to over $950. But thank you so much for being here. I really do appreciate you guys' support. The link is going to be down in the description below for our Patreon. So if you want to get those real-time buy and sell alerts, market updates, private live streams, trading view charts, Excel spreadsheets, tutorials on fundamental and technical analysis, all those 6 things are going to be included in our Patreon. So link is going to be down in the description below. So thank you so much for joining. I really do appreciate it. Congratulations to all Tesla shareholders for an absolutely incredible day. It's up another 4.4%, hitting new all-time highs, and that next target is going to be $1,000 for the company. So thank you so much for being here. Hope you guys have a great green day, and make sure to join our Discord. And if you have any questions, I will jump over there to answer and send out some alerts as well. So thanks so much, and I'll see you guys in the next live stream.